Hey everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that don't know, I'm Sarah Davis and I go by the Barbell Queen. Now, after the previous success of my mobility session that I did, a few of you have asked me to do more specific stuff going forward. So today we are going to look at our upper body and mobility for that like overhead position. It's going to help you with any snatch work, jerks if you really struggle with those shoulders, even wrists and upper back. We're going to look at all of those through today. So first thing I want you to go and grab is a teaspoon. Right, bear with me on this. So some of you might have been and seen like physical therapists and physios and stuff like that and had sports massage, and they've done this like scraping technique on you to break down the fascia that surrounds the muscle. Now we're going to start with our hands. So the way we're going to do this session, we're going to start with our fingers and our hands and work all the way along right down to the lower back. So you're going to grab your teaspoon and you're actually going to do this scraping on your hands. So you'll find that you can do a little test before you do it. So I'm really bad at this, and this is something that I have to do from my physio, is my fingers don't really bend back. Like I don't really have that much movement in my fingers like this. So I have to do this scraping because the fascia in our hands gets really tight, especially with the hook grip and stuff. So we're going to go and do some scraping of the hands. Okay, so if you grab your spoon and if you put your thumb on the inside like this, and then you're going to go to your hand and you're literally going to pull the spoon over your hand like that. Okay, and so when I do it, like it feels a little bit like there's like bubble wrap in there, like feels really horrible and bumpy, but this is just going to release that fascia off and help those hands. Now, I don't claim to be a physio, I'm just teaching you stuff that I've done and that I've found helps me. So right into the heel of the hand, into the thumb. This is something you can do like while you're watching TV at night to help. But yeah, it's really bubble wrappy. Like if I get this in my microphone, you can hopefully hear what it sounds like. And then change side. I actually find it really hard to do it on this side because I don't have the like dexterity to get the position the same with holding the spoon in my left hand. This is that moment as well where you realize you should have looked after your calluses, because look, mine are starting to peel off. Recommend washing the spoon after as well, especially given COVID and everything right now. So nice little scrape into the hands. You can also get a one of the soft tissue guns as well, and get that into the hand too. It's going to help loosen off that fascia. So if I just show you now, if I bend my fingers back, I've got a little bit more range in those already. So if we keep doing that, then it's going to help progress. So you guys want to get yourself next to a wall or a door or something like that, and we're going to carry on working on that like mobility of the fingers and the wrists. Like this is something that, I'll be honest, like I haven't done until lockdown. So if you'd have watched any of my previous lifting videos, I always had wrist supports on because I couldn't do more than the empty bar, especially in a wide snatch grip, without any sort of wrist support on. So this is something that I've been doing, and I've now had like 93 kilos above my head in a snatch grip with no pain, which, you know, you're looking at over 90% there with no wrist supports on or anything. So clearly it is working. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to start at arm's length, fingertips on the door, and you're literally going to like roll yourself down the door. So your feet are pointing towards the door as well, and then you're going to roll yourself back up. So you're like taking it section by section, all the way up and all the way down. I'm really using your body weight to like lean into it. You can see there I'm leaning into it as I go. And obviously the other side. You might find you have one side that's worse than the other. Oh, little elbow click. 5 on that side. Done. Next we're going to go side on. Same thing. Just really using that body weight to lean into the wall. And then 5 on the other side. Sorry guys, I realize I'm kind of going in and out of shot as I do this, but I want you guys to be able to see that lean of the body weight into the wall. Okay, and then a progression for these ones, so again doing it square on and side on, but I'm just going to show you now, is you start a little bit, fingers just a little bit off the wall, and you're going to roll down into it, and then you're actually going to push back off and really just get those fingers working and doing their job. Really giving it that little like ping off the top. And again on the other side. Woo, I almost fell over. Gave myself a bit too much oomph. Like I said, these exercises are pretty new to me over the last kind of few weeks as well. Next one then, I need to lower you guys down a little. Okay, so next one we're going to do, we're going to stand square onto the wall. You're going to take your hand across your body, and again we're going to roll, so you're going to go fingers into heel and then push that elbow into your stomach to get that range there. So fingers, hand, and then into the elbow. I'm just going to take you guys through all of these once, but you can then do it again on your own, in your own time. Or you can just hit pause, do a couple of sets, and then get going again. And then as we did before, we're going to add in that little bit dynamic and push away. And the other side. So there we have it. That should have the fingers and the wrist kind of moving a little bit more, and it's a really good one to just kind of add into your warm-up as well to get those hands going. Okay, so we've looked at fingers, we've looked at like palms, we've looked at wrists. So the next thing we're going to move on to is our forearms. So, well, there's a couple of things we're going to do. So one thing is a little bit of like self-manipulation. So you can get your thumb, the opposite hand, and you're going to press in and then up, and then you're going to move that wrist back and forth. And you're just going to play around with that thumb positioning. You'll feel where it's tight and where it's a little bit niggly. Like I said, in weightlifting we do so much grip stuff that it's really important that we actually look after our forearms and stuff, and we don't realise how much we're using them. And then if you're also someone who works at an office and you're sat at a desk, like your wrist might not be at the ideal angle. Other side, just move my watch out of the way. See, I find that this side is a lot worse than the other side. And again, just playing around with where you need to get that thumb stuck in, and you'll find where your trigger points are. Okay, so the other thing we're going to do is grab a ball. This one's a little bit big, but I can't find my smaller one. I have a feeling it got lost in the house move. So you're going to put it on a side or on a counter or a table, and you're going to get into that forearm. You play better with a surface that isn't so slippy. So, you know, if you're in the gym on like a wooden box or something like that, you're just gonna, the other thing you can do is roll it over and just really get that in there as a bit of a massage tool. Again, you can get a massage gun in there as well. The gun in your forearm and hands, it feels weird 'cause it makes your fingers like freak out and flail around. And then the other side. Pull this way up. This way is a little bit easier on this side. Okay, so this next one for forearms is similar to what we did with the wall push-offs, and it takes me back to my gymnastics days. So you're going to kneel up and you're going to take your hands, point your fingers towards your feet, and you're just going to rock back and forth in that position. You should start to feel the stretch really down the front of that forearm there. And then you can go the other way too. So so the heels of your hand are on the floor, and it's just going to bring it down the front there and into the wrists. I can feel it in the front of my wrist there a little bit too. And you can even go out to the side, rock side to side. And again on the heels of the hands, either side too. You can either do this kneeling, or I sometimes do it like leaning on a box or whatever as part of my warm-up too. So, forearms done. Now I'm going to move up the body towards the shoulders and the pecs. So pecs, this is one that we did as part of the other mobility class. So you're going to lie on your front, you're going to take your arms, so your elbows are at 90 degrees, and your shoulder and your arm is coming straight out from the shoulder there. So they look a little bit like rugby posts. Let me move so you can see me there. Okay, so you got arms at 90 degrees, and then what's going to happen, my room's not long enough. You ideally want your feet flat. Let me spin round. We're getting there, guys. So you've got arms at 90, feet flat, legs flat, and then you're going to take one leg over, and you should feel it. You're going to feel it in this pec and also down that front bicep. And you might feel it a little bit in your lower back too. And change sides. You guys can get a better view on this side too. So I feel it in my pec and down my bicep too. So this is basically a lie-in progression of what you're seeing people doing like against the wall and stuff too as a pec stretch. And relax. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of rolling as well. So grab your ball. So you could either lie on your front and get the ball underneath and roll around, but I find that a little bit uncomfortable, especially as a female. So get the ball, palm of your hand, and just have a roll around there. Again, you can do this against a wall, but you'll find the really nitty gritty bits like right there. And just roll that around. Even move that arm around. You'll find you can get into different areas. You press it on and then get that arm going up and down. You can feel it working through the range. And then change sides, and be careful not to wipe out my microphone and make it really noisy for you guys. And again, find that niggle spot. Oh, like I can feel that going right down into my fingers, into my hands. And I quite like this with the hand too, because rolling can be like really awkward sometimes. The gym floor is really dirty, like you don't want to lay around on the floor, and the floor's hard, and if there's no mats and stuff like that. So I quite like this to be able to just sit and roll around. Cool. So that's pecs. While we're in this position, we're going to go onto our traps. So easy one for traps really. Chin to chest. If you want to, gently put your hands on the back of your head and just add that extra little pull forwards. And then we're going to go ear to shoulder. You can see I have really tight traps. And again, ever so slightly, you're just going to let almost like just the weight of your arm pull. You're not going to actually pull. You're just going to let the weight of your arm add a little bit of resistance there. Really sorry if you guys can hear my stomach making all sorts of noises. And if you can't, I've just told you that it is doing, so you know regardless. Change sides. Again, if you train and you have an office job, probably going to find these are quite tight. And this is probably quite an important session for you to do and to revisit every couple of days maybe. And then this time you're kind of going to go diagonal, so you're going to turn your chin there. So it's not quite ear to shoulder, it's kind of ear to pec. It's kind of somewhere in between chin to chest. So you've got that chin pointing towards the opposite shoulder. And again, just allow your arm just to bring the weight of it to your head. I mean, I've got quite a big head, so the weight of my head in itself does enough of a job, I think. And change sides, so chin pointing towards shoulder. And just allow that weight to pull it down. And gently return your head back to normal. It might feel a little bit wibbly after that. Again, we can grab the ball and get that in there, because the traps, I find traps really hard to self-manipulate and to roll. They're one of those things that I end up checking in with my physio for quite frequently, especially like when you've got a good pull at the top position, like you're using loads and loads of trap. It's really important we roll those out. And again, if you find a niggly bit, and just move the arm around, give your head a wiggle around, and it's just gonna massage that point through a little bit of motion. And again on the other side. And there we have it for our traps. Next upper body area we're going to look at then is our thoracic spine. So first thing we're going to do, and there is no harm in doing this, okay, I've asked every single professional that I've come across, is to crack and release that spine a little bit. So you're going to sit with your knees up, you're going to go across, and you're just going to pull across there. And then the other side. Man actually doesn't want to go today. Or the other version you can do, prefer this one, is to lie down, take your knee, opposite arm, and across that way. I find that gets my lower back a little bit more too, but oh, not sure if you guys could have heard that, but it felt beautiful. Okay, so now that we've kind of released it, next thing you're going to do is I call it cat camel, you might call it cat cow, happy cat, angry cat, happy cat, sad cat. There's so many name variations of the same exercise. So on all fours, and you're gonna relax in. Make sure it's all of your upper and lower back arched up, and then you're gonna push up to the sky. So think about trying to push your belly button back up inside you so that it touches the roof. And again, into the cat. And then reach tall. Three, we'll go 2 more. One more. Cat. And camel. There we go. So again, you can do those as part of your warm-up. Next thing, we're going to kind of vary it. So you're going to take, if I come on this angle, you guys might be able to see it better. So you're going to take one hand, fingers by your ear, and you're going to go through that arm and then up to the sky with that elbow. So you're going to go down and through and then up. Really try and squeeze that upper back at the top to get as much range as you can. Change sides, so you're going to come through and then you're going to come up to the sky. Really try and open that chest up. And I'd recommend doing a couple of rotations of those, maybe 3 rotations of like the cat camel and then into the elbow, through and up. Next thing, and I've done this before with you guys, is you're going to grab a peanut if you can. If you don't have one of those, grab 2 regular balls, stick them together with gaffer tape. Probably cheaper. So you're going to take the peanut and you're going to put it, we're going to start our traps and we're going to work all the way down the upper back. So let me try and get into a position where you guys can see. So we're going to start right at the top. We're going to put the arms, again, like goalposts, and you're going to go reach up with them and back down. And then when you're at the top, number 5, you're going to rotate. The minute your palm should be facing the ceiling, so you're going to rotate so the heels of your hand are facing the ceiling, and you're going to bring those elbows down, and that's just going to open the scapula up, and we're going to inch that peanut down ever so slightly, like literally like an inch, and then we're going to go again. So we're going to go 5 sort of swims. You'll find you come up with weird names for this stuff to help you remember as you do it. So once we get to the top of number 5, rotate, bring it down, and then inch that peanut down the back a little bit more. And again, 1, 2, on number 5, rotate, bring it down, give yourself a hug. You might find that you want to stay there for a second on some of the movements because you can really feel it. And then we're going to go down 1 more. You can take as many of these as you want to really work on it. You might find some areas are worse than others with trigger points, so spend a bit more time there. Do more than 5 swims. And then give yourself a hug. And then just give it a little roll up and down. Oh, I can feel my training yesterday. Okay, so then that is your kind of rolling for the upper back too. Next thing, so this is kind of opening up the upper back and it's also bringing it into the pecs, is you're going to grab your roller and you're going to lie with your back over the roller. We're going to put the fingers by the temples again and you're going to relax back over the roller and then you're going to crunch it up and we're going to relax back And you're going to crunch up. If you've got like a medicine ball or like a D ball or something you could do this over, then I'd suggest using that because you can get a little bit more range around, because I struggle with the roller, it's a bit too long for me. Or the other option is you can turn it long ways and do it like that. So you go over that way and then crunch up. Oh, I got a little crack out then. So that's a couple of options for that one. And then you're going to grab your ball and you're going to lie on that roller again. And this is kind of taking it into shoulder and a little bit of pec again, but it's while we're here. So relax back over that roller. You're going to take that ball just to add a little bit of weight, and you're just going to bounce it round your head in like a little semicircle, just to feel a little bit of stretch on that shoulder movement. If I do it on the other side, you guys can see a little bit better. So just to sort of do those swims, but especially at this top end, you just use it as a little bit of sort of proprioception. Use a 2.5 kilo disc or something if you're really tight and you're really struggling, just to add a little bit more weight. So that is it for our thoracic. We're going to move on to our lats. So it's kind of, you'll have seen hopefully. So we're going to move on to our lats. First thing we're going to do for our lats is called the child's pose. So you might have seen it in yoga. So you're going to put your toes together, but you're going to sit with your knees out a little bit, and then you're going to stretch forwards, and you're just going to relax your forehead onto the mat, and you should start feeling it to pull in your lats. You might get a little bit in your hips too if you're a little bit tight there. And then you're going to move it over to one side and really breathe into that long side. And change sides. So really kind of breathe and lean into that side that's getting the stretch. And then we can progress this. So if you find you're not getting anything, then you can put your hands on your roller and still try and get your head to the floor. Or you can use a box, or you can upend your roller if you're feeling really snazzy. Really open up those shoulders, those lats. Pecs will get a bit of a stretch. Thoracic's getting opened up. It's a bit of a all-round win. And then again, onto your side. Try and really lean into it. And change side. If you guys can hear the banging in the background, I'm really sorry. Hopefully the mic's not picking it up, but I got a little woodpecker that comes and visits me, in case you don't follow me on Instagram. She's called Wendy, and she's currently on the railings beating out the coconut, making a racket. So if you can hear it, that's what it is. And you thought you were just here for stretching. You're getting story time too. Okay, and then finally we can go into single arm. So you put one arm, thumb pointing towards the ceiling, other hand can kind of just go wherever. And again, try and get that forehead to the mat, and we can actually just add a little bit of bounce into that movement too. Change sides. Again, I'm just taking you guys through this so you get a bit of a whirlwind tour. If there's some things that work better for you than others, you know, maybe take out the stuff that doesn't work if you find it too easy. If it hurts, or sorry, if it doesn't hurt, but if it's, you know, you can feel it working, then don't take it out for that reason, just because you don't like it. That means it's probably got to stay in. but you know, some things will work better for you than others, so use what works and do a couple of sets of everything too. Okay, so our final lat thing is we're going to have a bit of a roll. Now you can either use the roller or you can use the peanut. I tend to use both, depending on what's going on. So you're going to take the roller side on, arm above your head. You can use a ball as well, and then you're just going to roll up and down, find what your niggle spot is, and then once you're there, you're going to open that chest up, and then you're going to bring forwards again, and you're just going to rock side to side on that niggle point. Oh. Move it down a little bit. And change sides. As I said, it's a whirlwind stop for you guys. You might find that you need to do this a little bit more. You might find you've got super goosey loosey lats. I doubt it if you're doing weightlifting, because if you're pulling into your start position properly, then your lats are going to be getting tight. Like I said at the start, I don't claim to be an expert. It's just some of the stuff that I do that I found works. It might work for you, it might not. You might find somebody else that does something that works for you. It's about finding all the bits that work for you and building it into a bit of a routine. And that is that for our lats. So that was my upper body mobility session, as a little build on from what we did with my full body post-training kind of roll and stretch. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a little like, click the little thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and a little reminder, because this will be uploaded before the competition is drawn, but if you head over to my training question and answer video that I uploaded the other day, give that a watch. There is a giveaway on there, so you can win yourselves an Alico belt signed by yours truly that I wore at the Commonwealth Games to win my medal. So make sure you head over there, check that out, do all the things that you need to do the giveaway. Hopefully you guys found this video really useful, and I will be doing a lower body video to match up to it too in the near future. So until then, bye guys, stay safe, stay well.